What's going on, Omnibuddies? Mitch here, and today we are doing an Omnibuddy overview. What are we looking at? Well, typical to this channel, we're not actually looking at something that is typical to this channel. We're going to look at a DC book. We're looking at Cliff Chiang's Catwoman, Lonely City. Alright, so before I get into it, usually I don't review or even talk too much about DC or Marvel books. I love DC, I love Marvel. I actually typically like Image and Dark Horse and IDW and all these other smaller, more independent, Magnetic Press, all these smaller, more independent publications, publishers, just because there's not a lot of like major continuity that you have to know. You can just jump right in and have a ton of fun. But you know what? Every once in a while, a book catches my eye, catches my ear, I hear a ton about it, and I get tempted and I jump into it, especially if it's a shorter book. This is 4 issues, it's a mini series. If it's a short book like that and I can jump in, oftentimes I'm going to get tempted and do it. So this one I have heard nothing but great reviews for, rave reviews. People have been like talking about it nonstop, and I was like, okay, you know what? Fine. I'll get the book, I'll try it out, I'll check it out. And you know what? Everyone was right. So let's take a look at why. Catwoman, Lonely City is a 4-issue miniseries that's written, drawn, colored, and lettered, and all cover art is all done by the creator, Cliff Chiang. This story asks, how has the city changed, and have I changed? This story launches from 10 years ago on the massacre of what is known as Fool's Night. It claimed the lives of Batman, the Joker, Nightwing, and Commissioner Gordon. Selina Kyle ends up in prison, and now a decade later, she's made parole and is returned to Gotham. But what happened over those 10 years when she's gone? What happened on Fool's Night? And has Selina Kyle really actually changed? Or is she still Catwoman? And if she is Catwoman, is she a different kind of Catwoman? It really looks at how has she changed, not just as a person and an individual in her mindset, but also it looks at Selina's emotional damage, the city's emotional damage, losing most of their heroes in one single fell swoop, and having new characters, old friends, rise to different ranks. We see Harvey Dent as a mayor. We see Killer Croc and Poison Ivy and where they're at now and how they've changed and who they are as individuals, as leaders, or just as how far they've fallen. We see Selina Kyle, her emotional damage, her physical damage, as she's fighting her body as it's aged while she's in prison. She's struggling with her joints, with her body overall, and again, with this emotional damage that she suffered. Throughout this 4-issue miniseries, you're seeing flashbacks of what happened on and around Fool's Night, but the main central question that Selina keeps coming back to, well, aside from asking herself if she has really changed or if she's a new person, is what is Orpheus? Those were Batman's dying words, is bring me Orpheus. And this is a mystery that sends Selina on what could really be her last job. This takes us all over Gotham, all over the world, where she's meeting up with old friends, new friends, finding new ways of going about things as technology's changed, as her body's changed, as people's mindsets have changed. Or maybe they haven't. That's really the central question. Can Gotham, can the people of Gotham change? Cliff Chiang's art in this book, his coloring, his line art, his paneling are all far above par, at least in my opinion. This tells a story. You see the age, you feel what people are going through. You see the emotions on their face. There's no stiff modeling or anything like that. Everything flows beautifully. It's hard to read at times because you're seeing what happened and what is happening with the city and Selina and all of what everyone has gone through since Fool's Night. I gotta say, his coloring in this book is so good. The muted tones really convey the mood of the book throughout, whether it's night, dusk, dawn, the day, whatever it is. If they're in a seedy bar, if they're in the jungle, it doesn't matter. His colors convey exactly what you need to know. I don't know how Cliff Chiang can pull off a story of this caliber combined with the art and the coloring all coalescing in such a beautiful 4-issue miniseries. This is honestly a book, if you're gonna read a DC book and you haven't picked one up in a long time, this is the book that you really wanna pick up. I usually say if people don't know much about DC or wanna read one single standalone story is to read Ed Brubaker's Gotham Central, but that's a pretty big book. If you're looking for a smaller, more manageable sized self-contained story, Catwoman Lonely City is your go-to. This is going to be the book that I recommend to my friends and anyone who's looking for a quick, really good, well done, self-contained story. As far as extras in this book, there's great cover art and pinup sections, and there's an amazing section on the process that Cliff went through in creating this book. He's got the scripts in here, he's got from the kind of rudimentary base layouts and inks to laying down the actual lines to the full-on inking to the coloring and right into the lettering. I absolutely love seeing creators' processes, and he really delivers. And it's only 2 pages of it, which I'd love to see more, but it's an awesome 2 pages to see that layout and that progression. There's also a section on character art and their costuming and different alternate viewpoints, and this does it for most, if not all, of the main characters in the book. It's a really great bonus section in there, especially for how cheap this book is at $30 USD, and especially if you're buying it through discount retailers like Organic Price Books or CGN or IST. Do not miss Catwoman Lonely City. It is a brilliant take on the heroes of Gotham. All right, so that was a quick overview of Cliff Chiang's Catwoman Lonely City. Like I said, that artwork is friggin' gorgeous. The story is so cool. It's so nice and refreshing being able to jump into a DC book again. I've missed DC. I've missed reading a lot of Marvel and all those books. But like I said at the beginning of this video, I like being able to jump into books and recommend books that people don't need to know a ton of continuity or have a ton of knowledge and backstory on. But you know what? With this, with Lonely City, with Catwoman, all you really need to know is who Catwoman is, Selena Kyle, that she and Batman like each other. She's, you know, kind of one of those gray areas. Is she a villain? Is she a good guy? You never really know. And you know what? You just need to know a few of the characters, and you don't even really need to know them that well. Everything that you need to know is right there in the book, and it is so fun. It is such an interesting take on the story and an interesting leap forward into the future. Because like I said in there, it takes place 10 years later, and you know, after all these things happen, so it kind of jumps forward. Like, what if the worst happens and Batman's killed? Like, what is Gotham? What does the world look like after that? I would love to see, because this is more of a look at what Gotham looks like after something like that. I would love to see takes like this on Superman and Flash and Wonder Woman and just Aquaman. That would be really interesting to me. I love Aquaman, especially New 52 by Jeff Johns. Such a good story. But anyways, I'd love to see something like that. Different takes on different characters and different plays where you don't need to know a lot of continuity, a lot of back stuff, just kind of like the main, what happens if Lex Luthor did kill Superman, and you know, 10 years, all that kind of stuff. It's super interesting, these kind of Elseworld almost takes on it. I don't know that I guess I would consider it an Elseworld because, I mean, it hasn't happened yet or something. It could happen, but I doubt they're ever going to actually kill Batman. Anyways, that's it. It's a great story. If you want to pick it up, make sure to hit up the channel sponsor, Organic Price Books. It helps support my channel, helps support JP and David, feeds their families. They're small, up and coming. I keep saying up and coming, but they've been around for nearly 2 years almost. Maybe 2 years, but they've been around for like maybe 2 years at the most. And those guys are absolutely killing it. They are doing such great work with shipping, communication, amazing prices, especially if you use code Omnibuddy, $2 off every order. Omnibuddy ship it together to get 3 books. If you're ordering 3 books together, you get 5% off your entire order. Crazy good deals. Again, supports them, supports my channel, helps me do what I do. But yeah, That's it. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Those all help my channel too, but the most important thing to do, not only does it help the algorithm, it helps keep me going and feeds me because I love talking with you all about what you're reading. Let me know what another good Elseworld story is that I should check out. I know I just got Injustice: Gods Among Us, Omnibus Volume 1 and 2 in January, and I am really excited to jump into those. The game was super cool, and I'm just really excited to jump into those Omnis and read those stories. But it's DC, so it kind of takes a back burner to everything. So I don't know, when I'll eventually get to it, I keep saying, oh, I'm gonna read that next, that's up next, and then it gets pushed back. Right now I'm just working my way through Die by Kieran Gillen. It's such a good book. Cannot wait to do an overview on that. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what is a great Elseworld story that you would highly recommend, especially if it's short and there's not a ton of continuity stuff that you need to know. That way we can all jump into it. Let me know in the comments. All right, that's it. Take care. Stay cool.